before we can start adding tool paths to our drawings, we need to add stock. We need to tell Visual Mill what are the dimensions of the material we're going to be cutting from. To do this, we're first going to start by adding a drawing. I'm going to go to File, Open. Notice I've already got the file type set as Rhino, so I have a few Rhino drawings here. I'm going to select one of these. This is a two-dimensional set of polygons, four-sided shapes. I can tell that they're two dimensions by also going to ISO view, and this is a good way to look at stock so you can see when the stock appears. So we're going to add now, let's say for this drawing that we want to maybe engrave these lines or cut them out of a sheet of plywood. So we're going to go to the Visual Mills MOPS tab, and notice this set of icons down here. We want to go to the second end, which says stock, and notice right now under setup we have stock listed as none. So we want to go to the stock. We'll pull down this menu. There's several types of stock here. The most common is just a simple box stock. That's what you're typically going to be using with MDF or blue board or that type of material, plywood. So we're going to select that, and the first thing is it asks us is the corner position. Where do we want to start the X, Y, and Z 0 point? So most typically, if you are zeroing off the top of your block, you will use this upper left-hand corner. If you're zeroing from the bed, which there are instances you'll want to do that, you'll want this lower corner. We're going to pick this upper corner for now. And then quarter coordinates, where do you want that corner to be located? If you want it exactly at the 0 corner of the drawing, then we can do that. We can also shift it around. We can do an offset so that the drawing is further into the work. Most of the time, what I have found, it's more convenient to leave this at the 0, 0, 0 and do your tool touch off from the actual corner of your stock and then let it go and find where the drawing is. Next, it's the dimension of the drawing. So what it does automatically for the length and the width, it tries to look at how big is this drawing and what's the smallest box I can put around it. So let's say we have a 12-inch by 12-inch piece of plywood. That would give our height at 0.75, and we're going to hit OK, and nothing happens. And the reason for this, sometimes it'll appear, sometimes it isn't. So we always want to go back to the MOPS tab. If we've set our stock and it's not appearing, notice down here at the bottom there's a set of icons. The very first one on this is stock visibility. So this is unchecked, which is a very common piece. We're going to check that and our stock appears. If sometimes during the drawing process or as we're running tool paths the stock starts getting in the way, then we can come back to here, turn it back off, and so we can toggle between those. Also remember under preferences, under color preferences, we can change the color of the stock. So we could go a little lighter if we'd like. We can change it to something that's a little easier on our eyes. If you do that, make sure that you change the cut stock so that it's something that's very visible against the color you pick. Cut stock is going to show you when you simulate the cut what the sides of the cut look like so you can tell what's been removed. Additionally, we've got this last icon here, which is the line part and stock. If we click on that, it will let us move the drawing around on. Notice here we can move the part or the stock. We can change the alignment. If I put this on the bottom of this piece of stock and then say cut 1/4 inch deep, the cutter is actually going to go through the stock down into the table 1/4 inch. So we want to leave the Z alignment at the top of our material. And we can do an X and Y alignment so we can move this around. If you'll notice the location of the drawing right now, as I move it around, we can put it where we want. We can also simply highlight our drawing and move it. Since this is a simple 2D drawing, I could move it out to here, and that would give me locations for clamps or tie downs, for instance screws, if this was a piece of plywood. Remember, this is our 0, 0 point, so we're going to set this physically in the machine and then move out from there.